Hi everyone, and welcome to another exciting prelude episode of. It's not really prelude of of Trip Around the Multiverse with your hosts, the Red Guardian Carl Charles, and
and the unknown sister of Natasha Romanoff, who's not biologically related to her,
no,
Siwa Chung.
and if you cannot tell, we are talking about the long-awaited Marvel Cinematic Universe movie Black Widow, which was meant to come out last year, but
Yeah,
due to stuff out of everyone's control, got
yeah,
put back several
uh,
times.
yeah.
Now,
And actually, it was meant to come out before Falcon and Winter Soldier,
yeah,
but I don't think it makes any difference
no, it
where
doesn't.
it places it. The film itself places it at a certain point in the Marvel timeline, so you know,
Yeah, it's just
so it doesn't really matter.
it's just the end bit. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, as we just try to avoid spoilers, we're going to start with a non-spoiler and then move into spoilers.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was a good action film. You know what? I actually thought they might have went this because she's a spy.
yeah,
I thought they were going to do maybe a stealth mission sort of or something like that. You know, that sort of route. Maybe not like an all-out action movie. And this is
yeah,
not an all-out action movie, but it's got action sequences in it.
yeah.
Not much stealth sequences, not much, like Metal Gear Solid or Batman going around breaking into buildings and stuff like that. None of that. They just went, you know what, action is going to be.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And like you said, I thought maybe they're gonna go sort of Winter Soldier route where it was
yeah,
more a spy thriller rather
yeah.
than all that action. And I think the all that action, in my opinion, actually worked for this film.
Yeah, to be fair, it's an action drama because there's stretches where they build the characters,
Yeah,
backgrounds, and personality and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's not like Enter the Game of Death where it's all action that don't make no sense.
yeah. And it was really entertaining.
Yeah, yeah, I liked special characters that were standouts,
Yeah,
guest appearances.
yeah.
Not like any Marvel characters, but like actors that that we won't mention. But it's like, yeah, I'm like, oh, okay,
That cool.
fair, fair.
And
Um,
I'm kind of happy this film came out now rather than earlier in the MCU
yeah,
because I don't think it would have been the same film.
yeah. So, as press releases say, it's come out between Civil War and Infinity War.
Yeah,
So yeah, and it links to certain things from Civil War and then goes on to certain things in Infinity War.
yeah.
So yeah,
It's a
it
nice
just
little
is
bridge.
like this particular slice. This movie takes place in a particular part of the MCU, and that's yeah. So you know that she's going to survive this movie, but
Yeah,
it doesn't really. See, what they do is build the other characters. You care for them because
yeah,
you never see them in any future movies afterwards. So you don't know what happened to them
yeah. You don't know if they will make it out of this film or not.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
which is pretty
so
cool.
what actually was a neat thing is Natasha Romanoff, I would say, is the main character in this movie. Well, kind of,
Kind
right?
of,
She's
yeah.
like the co-lead. But this movie, the plot of this movie would have happened without her, anyways.
Yeah, eventually, yeah, it would have
Yeah.
happened. Yeah,
She starts like, funny enough, the audience surrogate in this adventure because
yeah,
it's happening already, and she's in there, and then she's asking questions that the audience would ask.
yeah. Because she's like you're saying, she's sort of like just dropped in the middle. She's like, okay, so how did we get to this point?
Yeah, yeah.
And
And I think that's good because
yeah,
obviously it was like, okay, it's to build up the secondary lead, well,
yeah,
the co-lead, right? It's to
yeah,
build her up. So that's and but not in a subtle way to
yeah,
carry on the franchise. Not like, oh, this person's in your face, right?
yeah.
And Black Widow's going to sit back, just being told instructions of what to do.
It didn't feel like Blade Trinity.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
best way of
exactly.
putting it. Yeah,
It
where
didn't feel like the Roman Reigns push.
yeah, because like with Roman Reigns or the Blade Trinity's comparison,
Yeah,
Blade was there for name, and then you can see where they was trying to build the other characters
yeah,
to start off a franchise. And in this film, they didn't really do that. You're like, okay, that's cool. It's equal footing. Yeah,
yeah. I like the other characters in it.
Yeah,
Like you said,
real cool.
Red Guardian's in it. We won't go into
Yeah,
backstory about that in the spoilers bit.
yeah,
Rachel Weisz is in it. Florence Pugh. Well, I'm naming the actors that are in
yeah.
it. Uh, Ray Winston. Yeah. So you know what? When you're watching this movie, there's not a lot of characters here.
No, there isn't, is there?
So it seems like a more intimate movie.
Yeah, because
You
there's
know.
only five if you think about it. Well,
Yeah.
no, yeah, five, six. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's minor characters who appear
yeah,
to progress the movie, but they the ones that they concentrate on are like very small amount. It's like
yeah,
that's kind of good.
yeah.
You got to build characters from the ground up.
And it's kind of a
Uh,
good thing because it's kind of refreshing as well because up to this point,
yeah,
like we'll use Endgame and Infinity War for example. There's a
yeah.
crap ton of people in it, so
Even Captain America: Civil War.
yeah, there's a crap ton of people in it. So you're like, okay, cool. It's awesome that there's so many people in it,
Yeah,
but not everyone gets a moment. Well, they
yeah,
do, but not much development. But with a
mm,
smaller ensemble, see a big word
yeah,
there, you get to like know the other characters,
yeah,
see their motivations a bit more, even especially because they're new. So it's a good way to bring them in.
yeah. And this movie kind of verbally fills in some history,
Yeah,
like how Black Widow was in the Red Room as from Age of Ultron, how
yeah,
she defected and all that stuff, and then other characters fill in what happens in certain gaps, the training, the
yeah,
what they do to the girls, their how their lifestyles are.
yeah. And what I
Yeah.
did also like about that, the Red Room, their candidates were very diverse.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And you pointed that out, and I was this is something else I noticed.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, and they all speak Russian, but
yeah,
technically,
yeah,
right? When you watch it, when you watch it carefully, sometimes they cut away from the shots when the character's speaking.
yeah. So you kind of
Maybe because the actress couldn't speak perfect Russian or whatever. Or maybe it's just cheaper to put in an actor there, pay them for the screen role,
yeah,
then get a voice artist
yeah,
and pay them for the voice artist, and then they don't count as an actor. Therefore, you pay them cheaper rate.
yeah,
But I think it's just more of a if your pronunciation's shoddy and they're meant to be legit Russians.
yeah. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, exactly,
do 17,000 takes just to get a sentence out, are you?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, did you know? You probably didn't know. I mean, you don't know any Russian, I guess, right?
No, not
So,
fluent at all. No.
so we wouldn't have known whether how good their Russian is
Yeah,
when like Scott Johansson speaking Russian, Florence Pugh, or whichever characters,
yeah,
you know. But they disguised it in quite a neat way.
yeah.
If
And I'm quite happy that she just most of the time Black Widow just talks American because it'd be weird all of a sudden we're gonna give her a Russian accent and be like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Though I know they didn't need it because we were thinking, oh, if it was a spy film, it would have
Yeah,
been good to hear her do different accents, not necessarily the languages if she can't handle the languages, but
yeah,
at least different accents as part of the disguises. Except that this movie had no room for that because it's not that. It's not
no,
that type. It wouldn't be that type of film.
yeah. And this might be me looking too subconsciously into this, but
Yeah.
I always just assumed because she didn't like what Russia did and she defected. That's why she doesn't talk with an accent. She like purposely trained herself to speak with an
Well,
American accent.
I would say, I mean, partially,
Yeah,
I would agree with you. It's bit of this and bit of that. But look, she's in America. She's
yeah,
got to fit in.
yeah.
Therefore,
And she's a
whatever
spy.
country she defected, she would have just adopted that accent to fit in with that
Yeah,
locale.
yeah,
It wouldn't have made any sense to speak Russian. Then everyone thinks, oh, knows you're Russian.
yeah. You're a spy straight away. Yeah,
Yeah, especially in the US when they had the Cold War sort of thing.
yeah, yeah,
So who knows how sour they would have been
yeah,
at the time that she would have shifted over,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Actually,
so
yeah,
it's all good.
all good.
I thought some sequences were I don't want to say over the top, but something like you got action and then there's like unsurvivable action.
Yeah,
But it's all right. It's not too over the top.
no,
Good sequences.
yeah. Very good sequences.
You know what? They had big set pieces, but I would have minded if they had smaller set pieces for action as well, because it's a Black Widow movie. What do you expect? It's not going to be like Iron Man where there's going to be a blast radius for certain maneuvers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a shame they didn't do any stealth sequence stuff because that would have been cool. Just like all those grapples and chokeouts
Yeah. Would have been cool, but I guess at this point, yeah, I don't. I get what you mean. I'm trying to think.
No, I mean it's just saying the way the plot moved.
Yeah, didn't need
None
it.
of that would have been relevant.
Yeah,
Wouldn't have made sense. First of all, as a timeline, as in she there's timeline that it takes place in, and the plot's got to move very quickly. So you're not
Yeah.
going to have time to be stealthy.
yeah,
But
and
if you
plus at
find
this
out,
point,
she's got two ends chasing her. The General Ross from the American government or whatever, because she broke the Sokovia Accords.
yeah,
She's got to deal with this as well, this story. So, yeah,
Yeah.
stealth is not going to be, sometimes if you can just go in there and get things done, stealth, is just going to
Yeah.
take longer to do the job.
because I guess at this point, like you're saying as well, at this point she just doesn't care anymore. So it's like,
Well, she's trying to keep it as low key as possible, but at the
Yeah.
same time,
yeah,
not.
obviously she's not going in like Punisher style gun blazing, but she hasn't got time for the finesse as she normally would have. Yeah. Good on her.
The costumes are pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say as well, there's relevance to why she's wearing the white costume,
Yeah.
because in part of the story they go to Russia and it's all
Yeah,
snowy and
snowy.
stuff. So it's like, well, camouflage is going to work there because it's that color.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen it like have a trigger or something like because it came from I don't want a black market shield or whatever, right?
yeah.
Oh, it didn't come from Shield. Sorry, it came her supplier, right?
Yeah.
She had the button on the collar to change it from white to black, or the other way around. Whenever she needed, that would have been neat because then she goes to Russia all the snow and stuff, and then she
Yeah.
infiltrates the build or whatever she needs to do. It just change the color of it to blend in with the darkness a bit more.
Yeah.
It'd be neat to see something.
Like
Yeah.
more techie. Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like she couldn't get them
Yeah,
because, she again her buyer, like, he's in the black market, he can get anything. Plus, I'm pretty sure Tony Stark could have made her one or something like that, and she could have just
well,
She's
at that
stolen.
point they won the outs, but
yeah, but I mean, like, she's still like something that would exist for her, isn't it? Somewhere.
she might have had a suit made for her that she stole from the Avengers facility before she
Yeah.
went and lived it. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm looking too into it, but yeah.
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 I did like Florence Pugh as her character.
Yeah, I really liked her. I thought she was rather entertaining.
Yeah.
I liked her
Yeah,
Russian accent.
Like, spark and personality,
Yeah.
and enough of a push that you're like, yeah, if the next movie is about her, yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see what.
Because they didn't like shoot like force her in your face and everything like that, and she had like a likable personality and not like a faked likable personality where you can tell, oh, they're making this person be next.
She had issues that
Yeah.
she was trying to deal with as well,
Yeah,
so that made her more relatable.
yeah. Not rather than this is who we want you to like, and she's perfect. She has nothing
High
wrong with her.
five all around.
Yeah, yeah. So I liked her.
Yeah.
I like the Red God. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
There. What was? I don't want to say who the woman is without spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good
You
as
can,
well.
okay, no, so you can say the actress name.
Rebecca
but then say
Weiss.
which face.
That's her name, right? Rachel Weisz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the other actress,
Oh no.
the one that didn't get put in any advertising material.
Yeah, which was cool to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, good on her. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I saw the name in the end credits. I mean, during the credits, I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of waiting for her appearance, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I was like, wait a minute, I never saw her in any promotional material. I was like,
No.
it's a smart move though, what
Yeah.
they did.
They need to do that more with films, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Um,
and I was quite happy. If it isn't even a spoiler, that there was no other Avengers or anyone pair up in this film. I was quite happy about that.
Yeah, to be fair, the only person that would have made sense. Oh, okay, two characters would have made sense here. It would have been Hawkeye and Captain America because they're more stealthy types.
Yeah,
But their story is not relevant. I mean, Hawkeye, because of the background, as you heard, what happened in Budapest from
Yeah.
Avengers, he would have been. He could have fit here. At the same
Yeah.
time, it's like, well, yeah, but they said he was under house arrest, so why would he? Be
No, I
making
think
a
at this point he was still in prison.
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
him and
Yeah.
Ant-Man and
exactly.
Sam
So
Wilson, because they say, yeah,
it's good. It's a good self-contained story
yeah,
that doesn't have effect on anything else in the universe.
no,
Not saying okay, this movie. If this movie wouldn't have happened, it wouldn't have mattered. But it's just in the long run, it doesn't affect anything. The movies that came before it
no,
doesn't retcon anything either.
no. It doesn't make you question other bits in movies, because some things tend to do that, like, but wait.
Yeah.
Like-
Where's this person, or how come this person isn't there?
Yeah, like Fast and Furious. I love those films. I might admit, there's lots of things you're like, wait, that
Dom brother.
doesn't make s- even though that again, how they rectified that was good, but other things, there's other plot holes. Are like, but that makes no sense. But
How they reintroduce certain elements of her backstory in here
yeah,
that she never mentioned before? It's because she's got the lack of information because she's left. So
Yeah.
of course.
hey, it works. Yeah, but yeah, man. More and more I talk about it, the more I actually enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And also, sorry, I was gonna say that I'm kind of glad no one else appeared in this film, because she deserved her own solo film. So it was kind of good that it's like, you know what, we're not gonna put in this person or that person.
Yeah.
We'll give Scarlett Johansson and Black Widow a good send off and let her have her own
Yeah.
focus
And-
film. So that's cool.
And the way I look at it as well, she's a competent character that's
Yeah.
able to handle everything that goes her way.
Yeah.
Right? And she'll call people if she can't handle it, right?
Yeah.
But if she can deal with it, she's gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, oh, she's a woman, she doesn't need a man's help, or none of that stuff. It's just like, look, she's a super spy,
Yeah.
right? She can fight. She can use her womanly wiles for certain, tactics. She can
she's
stealth
super
around.
smart.
She's got everything she needs to deal with any situation.
Yeah.
But then when you're dealing with superhumans, that's a different matter.
Yeah. Different matter.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good on her. Good on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way
Yeah.
to end her story.
Yeah, and to what's it called in wrestling? Give the rub to the next.
Yeah.
stars.
She went out like a legend should.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. No, I'm not gonna say that.
It sounds bad. It sounds bad.
Yeah, but giving a rub to someone else.
Yeah.
I was gonna use another term, but I'm not gonna use it. 'Cause that's really bad.
it sounds bad when you use that term for a woman.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
So-
Nice. All right. Do you wanna move on to spoilers?
Yeah. Okay. Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Okay. At first, watching, I was like, I don't get this whole Taskmaster protocol. I just thought they just put him in this film to put him in this film.
Yeah.
But then we get to the end with the reveal, and we're like, oh, okay. I'm totally fine with it now.
Yeah. Now, Taskmaster actually never been advertised as a man, by the way.
No.
It's a person in armor. Let's put it that way, right? Even though it's male type armor.
Yeah.
Logically speaking, as well, you wouldn't have breastplates like, in your fancy armor and stuff like that. If you had the female breastplates things,
Yeah.
that kind of go around the chest
Yeah.
area, you hit that, it's gonna crack ribs. So it
Yeah.
does need to be, logically speaking, kind of flat to distribute the impact.
Yeah.
So this male-looking armor is actually just more, I don't want to say generic, but actually built for to distribute any impact biologically.
Yeah.
So it just happened to look like male armor, whatever, right? I want to say I predicted, but I did say to my friend on the side, I bet you Taskmaster, like at a certain point, because they were concentrating on the little girl,
Yeah.
and Black Widow's harsh in this film, right? Before she defected, and she had to try and ruin the Red Room, right?
Yeah.
She basically it seemed like she put a bomb in the kids, in the set.
Yeah.
7-year-old, how old was this kid? You would say 11-year-old max, right?
Yeah.
Put a bomb in her bag. That's what it seemed. I don't know if that's what they did, right?
But it
And
seemed
then
that way.
blew up the entire floor of the building
Yeah.
that had her father, or whatever in it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm glad. It's good for her character because then it's just like a guilt trip.
Yeah.
and she does some dirty stuff when she was part of the Black Widows in Russia anyway. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is more of that. And you
Yeah.
never hate her. Just like, yeah, back then, you can see
Yeah.
why she wanted to get out.
Yeah, and you just
Yeah, I was saying to my friend,
Mm.
bet you the Taskmaster is that little girl growing up, yeah. But I only said that because I was like, the little girl seems to be relevant, and she
Yeah.
has no. This is like halfway through the movie, and she hasn't made like no relevance,
yeah.
an appearance or anything. Like that. They just mentioned her a couple of times. Knowing that, I was like, if she's got blown up, right, and they put her back together cybernetically, because in Taskmaster you get the Knight Rider style red readings on the lenses.
Yeah.
And no chipset and stuff like that, like the computerized. I was like, oh yeah. It wasn't clues, by the way. I was just jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
And then when she took off, when it was her, I was like, yes, it does make a lot of sense because I didn't know why. I was like in my head, I was just thinking it'd be cool if that was that.
See, I didn't think that way. I don't know why. I thought it's gonna be a no one. But then when Black Widow asked whatever Ray Winston's character's name is,
Yeah.
she goes, "What was my mother's name?"
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought when he goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
I thought, oh no, it's gonna be her mum, isn't it?"
Yeah.
And then when I found out it was Dreykov's daughter, I was like, "Oh, thank God it's that," rather than
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
mum.
I want to say, I put together anything like, but just stuff outside of actual story as like, is what made me think, oh, maybe it's going that way. But Olga Kurilenko, she was pretty good.
yeah,
I don't know how much of her was Taskmaster, how much was in Stuntman, because she didn't need to be. She's a huge impact role,
yeah,
but she did not need to play herself much
Yeah.
as that role.
yeah,
It's the best way to put it. She's just there for the unmasking. Could have been a stuntman or stuntwoman or whoever
Yeah.
did the rest of the Taskmaster stuff.
which probably was, but yeah,
Yeah, but they didn't advertise. They didn't need to. I don't want to say it was a glorified cameo. She does have sequences.
yeah, she does have sequences.
but
Even
she-
at the end, she was like quite a powerful sequence.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's
She
pretty cool.
doesn't have huge sequences, which is good because it's like, oh, yeah, you're not going to advertise this person and you expect them in the film for
Yeah,
X amount of time and they're not even there.
yeah, that was a good way.
I like
Um,
at the very beginning where Taskmaster was mimicking Black Widow right off
yeah,
with Captain America style moves and stuff like that. And she's basically just taking Black Widow for a fool,
yeah, 'cause
basically.
doesn't she do the Black Widow head scissors thing
Yeah.
to her? You're like,
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, this is great because not only would first of all Taskmaster could do this stuff, but it just sets up the threat level
yeah,
because Black Widow can take people down like jabronis as well. So
yeah,
it's like, okay, so are we having Florence Pugh and Scarlett Johansson team up to fight Taskmaster at the end, maybe as an option? Or was it like, okay, she's gonna. The Taskmaster's going to copy my move. So what I'll do is endanger myself in this next sequence of moves,
yeah,
and Taskmaster will copy it
and do this
and endanger
botch.
them. Like
Yeah.
it's an opposition you have to outsmart. Except they didn't do that, but it was they could have went that way as well.
Yeah. I'm kind of happy that they didn't. The ending wasn't the Black Widow and we'll
And
say the
Black
White
Widow.
Widow,
Yeah.
fighting Taskmaster. Because then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's basically like Iron Man 2 or
That's true. It's true.
Civil War. You know what I mean? So I was kind of glad they didn't go that way.
And I'm glad she didn't have a final fight with Taskmaster
Yeah,
either, because it was a different kind of resolution they needed,
yeah,
which they went for.
yeah. Because that resolution ties up her whole story, really, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
that's
Plus,
a pretty good way.
before that, she had that fight with all the other Black Widows.
Yeah, that was. Dope.
And here's the funny thing, right? When she's fighting jabronis,
Yeah.
she can beat them up, and then
Yeah.
she's fought people that are higher power level than her as well, and she got beat up,
I
right?
wouldn't
But
say
it doesn't.
that.
Sorry,
Would you say they were higher power level than her?
no. Some people she has fought are higher
Oh yeah,
power
yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah. I think that
Here,
like the other
a
widows.
whole bunch
she's
of
like-
people on her level,
Yeah,
and she can't take them all because they're all her equals. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's
That's
pretty
pretty
good. And I have to say, I like the idea that they didn't swarm her because they could have,
yeah,
right? But she had those wrist electric taser things.
yeah,
So it's like, okay, when people don't fight the person, they all the enemies just kind of hang
stand there and
around.
watch. Yeah,
All the enemy, yeah, one by one go to fight. Well, that here it actually makes sense because First, they're waiting out for all her tasers
Yeah.
to go, and there's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, say they swarm her, they might end up hitting each other because if all these bodies falling each other, and when it's unconscious bodies, she might taser them as they grab her as well.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't be taking damage; she'd be just hiding underneath all this, mass of them.
Yeah, she.
So they stayed back, and eventually got to her, and was like, okay, yeah.
Because they played the smart way, like you're saying. This, like, okay, she has X amount of ammo. If we sacrifice X amount of us,
yeah,
we can take her down because she won't have the efficient amount of ammo to.
Not only that, they established they kind of not they kind of mind controlled in a way.
Yeah.
And when I say that mind controlled, I mean it's obviously been from the Red Room taught to be spies and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But not only that, Ray Winston's character can tell them what to do, but kind of Winter Soldier style.
Yeah.
And they will do it. And they can't not do it, even though they trying to. Oh, he's making me do this, So
yeah, they're conscious, but they
take. If he says to Black Widows, take down Natasha Romanoff, they're gonna do it in a smart, flat manner. So,
yeah, man. It was.
I found it funny how Ray Winston's accent just.
What accent?
Well, Cockney Russian accent. I've never heard that before.
Because I was sitting there watching, I was like, is he just speaking normally? And then every now and then you hear like a slight Russian thing. I was like, you didn't need to do that.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm just going to assume wherever he was when he went to learn English was in the East End part of London. Whatever.
Yeah. Like, it does. Even if he didn't have. I don't know why they had to sort of concentrate on the accent.
I don't think they did. I just don't think he can shake his natural accent.
Yeah. So it's like, cool, you're a Russian guy, but you was born in England, sort of thing, you know what I mean? Then you went back to Russia and became the director of the Red Room, whatever, easy as. But, okay, whatever.
About our boy, the Red Guardian.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah. I thought David Harbour was actually really good as that. And I'm glad he kind of, I don't want to say was out of shape, but it was like, it shows that, like, even if you're a super soldier, your buff is not going to stay that way. If you don't train to a certain level at a certain point.
Yeah.
You 20 years in jail, or however long he was. He's been in jail since the 80s or something, right? No.
1995, yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to get out of shape.
Yeah, but it's funny that he's still, like, super strong and everything.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes it more, I don't want to say a lovable character, but it just makes it like he's more of a joker,
Yeah. But it's funny as well, because, like, how in the beginning, when they have the flashback of them as a family, we'll say.
Yeah.
Like, how he was, like, sort of super serious and everything.
Yeah.
And then those 20 years in prison just, like, made him
exactly.
a bum.
Exactly. I did like how he mentioned he was boasting about how the Red Guardian, Russia's Captain America, did have a fight with the actual Captain America.
Yeah.
And then one of these prison guys goes, hold on a minute, you've been here since the 80s, right? I mean, you said you fight Captain America in the 80s, and he was under ice since the 40s, and was around in 2011. So how's that work? And then Red Guardian just breaks the guy's arm. But
dude.
It would be cool, by the way, because as we know from Falcon and Winter Soldier, there were super soldiers running around at that time.
Yeah.
If you fought a Captain America, because he never mentioned it was Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
So if you had to counter with one of the other Captain Americas at that time, would have been neat.
But he does mention He does mention Rogers, and even
exactly. It's like it's true because I was like, oh yeah, if they do flashbacks at a certain point, could just be a different Captain America. But then and he does, but then Roman he asks Natasha,
and she's like,
America,
you haven't seen me in like 20 years, and the first thing you do is ask about yourself. I was like, it's funny, but it doesn't. We don't actually know when he became the Red Guardian, because he could have been the Red Guardian in the Second World War.
Yeah.
So okay.
Second World War.
Or whether, he could have.
I don't know.
He could have.
I don't know. 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 I don't Yeah, that means he's very old. But then again,
But then again, the super soldier serum may not. His version may age slower.
well, to be fair, comic book Natasha Romanoff has been around since the 40s as well.
Yeah,
So
they've changed that.
yeah, so who knows exactly?
Yeah,
You know what? I'm glad they don't go into too much into it. So yeah,
yeah,
I did also like how he wasn't. His 30 years did make him rusty because when he had to fight Taskmaster, all he was doing was just being a tank and just taking hits.
yeah,
And I was like, good on you because first of all, you need to be super soldier to take the amount of hits that you were taking, right?
yeah,
And even then, you need to boost up the credibility of Taskmaster. Like a guy with boosted abilities can't keep up Taskmaster who, copies all everyone's moves.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they adapt to body shape or size. You know what I mean? Because in the comics, he can't do like obviously if he's copying say the Hulk, he's not gonna be able to do everything the Hulk can do.
yeah. No, I think it's only skills he copies, right?
In the comics or in the movie.
In the comics.
No, yeah, he doesn't. He copies their skills, right? But he can't execute them the same way if they aren't the same relative size to him.
Yeah, so that's why he could copy like Spider-Man and all that, but he couldn't copy Thor or Hulk because
Yeah. Well, he can't execute the moves the same way. He can't exactly thump the ground and make it crack, you know.
yeah,
They can copy their fighting techniques. Though, let's put it this way: why would you want to copy Hulk's fighting techniques?
he has none. Yeah, he has none. So yeah, same with Thor. He has none. They just throw their body around and hope for the best.
So Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova.
Yep.
Very, very good, very good. She made that army surplus jacket.
Yeah.
that then Black Widow got at the end. Did you realize that was going to happen? Did you think that was going to happen when you saw the jacket?
No, I didn't think anything of it until the end. I was like, oh, that's the jacket she has in Endgame and that. Okay.
I was like, oh, I see how she got it, and it makes sense. You know what?
Yeah. Even that's like a small little touch. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I did also like how Black Widow's supplier basically got her two White Widow costumes, right?
Yeah.
And when Florence Pugh put on the costume, it was more baggy.
Yeah.
Because she's shorter than Scarlett Johansson, character-wise. And I don't know about real life, but the character was meant to be. And they're different builds, so why would it fit perfectly? It would make less sense.
Make no sense.
So we could argue that Scarlett Johansson and Rachel Weisz are relatively the same size, and therefore when they swap costumes, they swap costumes, and they fit. But they look about the same size, so yeah, I don't know.
Wait, for some reason I keep thinking Rachel Weisz is like super tall. I don't know why. I know she isn't.
No.
Don't know why I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
But yeah, like little details like that. It's like, okay, it makes sense because how could her supplier get a costume for Florence Pugh, exact measurements and stuff like? You know how these things fit. I mean, have you paid for your wrestling costume? You didn't pay for
No, never paid for one. No.
Right. Yeah, you got to measure yourself for the stuff. So it's you can't just give someone else the same size costume. It's not gonna fit.
Because no one's the same.
Yeah.
Unless you got that weird Tony Stark technology like what Spider-Man had, where it's baggy then presses in. In. But
exactly.
Who has that?
Side tangent, as you mentioned that there were people on YouTube that actually made that the shrinking costume sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it bags up around certain areas where it contracts.
Yeah.
It kind of like crunches up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because say it's around the center of your wrist. That's where the pulls are. It has to go somewhere.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah.
The extra material. So it doesn't work the way that it works in comics. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I did like how the fighting here was less clean than you would expect from a Marvel movie. Like, so you see the fighting from Captain America: Winter Soldier or the fighting in Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
This is more scrappier fighting, but I can get it because it's like they're not superhuman first of all, yeah.
No.
And it's kind of all out-ish.
Yeah. It's literally like fight for your life sort of thing because everyone there was willing to kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike the superheroes who don't want to kill.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't want to say they had shaky cam, but they had camera movement without shaky cam.
Yeah. It was filmed
Yeah,
really nice as well.
I
Yeah.
did like the idea as well, where they at the very beginning the Black Widows are going to assassinate someone. You don't know who, you don't know why.
Yeah.
Then Florence Pugh gets blasted in the face with the pheromone mind adjuster, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Clarify.
I guess so.
Yeah, and then she realized, oh dear.
What have I done?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then, like we said before, the adventure starts. So Florence Pugh would have had to deal with it all by herself anyway, if she didn't encounter Natasha.
Yeah. And even their first interaction's quite like, why are you trying to kill each other?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I thought, oh, when they had their first fight, I was like, oh no, are they gonna make it like Florence Pugh is actually the younger sister? So usually these people are the ones that are the losing battle. Except
Yeah.
that she's been in the Red Room much longer.
Yeah.
To be fair though, Natasha Romanoff is fighting superhumans, so it could have went either way. But I'm lucky. I'm good. It was kind of a draw.
Yeah. I like that. I was like, cool.
Yeah,
You're not trying to bury one person.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Uh,
I also like this is a bit. It's going a tiny bit back, but you know, when she goes off the grid and her contact gives her like her goodies and stuff in
yeah.
for her new house, and how she has the
Her
blonde.
trailer, right?
Huh?
You mean her trailer?
The trailer, yeah. And when he gives her the blonde hair dye, I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's a cool forward
yeah,
to Endgame and Infinity War, because in Infinity War she has blonde hair, and then in Endgame she's still got the ginger hair but blonde bits at the end because it's grown out. Yeah, I thought that was pretty nice.
I will say, at the end where. Oh, by the way, I think it's quite smart how she dealt with Ray Winston's the pheromone.
Oh yeah,
So
that was clever.
he had this built into his pheromones that the Black Widows can't attack him.
Not in the pheromones. In the Red Room training, he
Yeah,
built in that none of them can hurt him.
yeah, yeah.
Because as soon
So
as they smell him, they're like,
exactly. So she had to break her own nose to do it
Yeah.
because he was smacking her across the face, and he couldn't break her nose. So she was like, "I'll do it myself." Goodness
Yeah.
me. I was like, oh, that's cool.
That was amazing. I was thinking, how are you going to get around this?
Yeah. I thought what she might do is just turn around, shoot
Yeah.
herself, right?
Yeah.
And the bullet go through her and hit him.
Yeah. Or I thought that you're going to find out that she had some, like, stupid things in her nose blocking her from smelling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that
Yeah.
breaking nose bit, I was like, ha, that's awesome.
Yeah. But after she dealt with the entire Red Room thingamajig,
Yeah.
and it blow up in the high altitude, so when all the Black Widows now have lost their mind control and they with Taskmaster and they're gonna get away,
Yeah.
and you got General Ross coming along to, I want to say, clean things up, to start arresting people, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad that they just didn't show the consequences of, because Black Widow's like, oh yeah, okay, you guys all go, I'll deal with them,
Yeah.
right? I'll find a way to deal with them, not physically or anything, they're just like a workaround or whatever. And then they cut to the scene where she's picking up her next set of stuff from her contact. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, kind of cool. They didn't show anything because they're like, what could you have shown
Yeah,
that would have
just-
worked?
Would it have been her surrendering or her fighting them for like an hour, then she just gives up? Yeah, it was kind of a good
But
thing.
she would have had to go away. So I logically in my mind, like all the stuff that she got from the Red Room,
Yeah.
all the details she downloaded before she blew up,
Yeah.
she said to Ross basically, you take this, right?
Yeah.
And you let me go,
Yeah.
and we're done, right? And yeah, that's in my mind. And he's like, fair enough, Natasha. I'll do all this stuff, all this information that you do that will help me in my cases or whatever. Okay? I'll pretend you never happened, but next time,
Yeah,
I will
see
yeah.
you. Yeah. But you know that bit at the end, well, not that at the end, but that bit you was talking about. For some reason, I was getting weird X-Men Origins Wolverine vibes. Because you know how that sort of ends where they destroy the factory and then Wolverine has that skirmish with Stryker.
Yeah.
And you see Professor X comes and gets the kids. And what? I kept on thinking that, but then I thought, this has handled this situation a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because no one got shot in their head with an adamantium bullet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their memory got erased. Because that's how it works, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I liked it. and how all the widows and went off with Rachel Weisz and Red Guardian. I was like, oh, that's cool. They're gonna have their own little family somewhere. That's cool.
What did you think of the? Okay, so now we said that Florence Pugh's character is kind of sparky personality.
Yeah.
She does impulsive stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because when they were breaking the Red Guardian out of prison, she uses a rocket launcher to take down one of the towers.
Yeah.
Causes an avalanche. I'm like, woman,
why would you do that?
Yeah. Like, to be fair, she's like, look, is chopping down the makeshift plane, helicopter, whatever they have, right?
Yeah.
Because it's off the books. It's not exactly the most safest structure.
Yeah.
And she's like, I gotta take this thing down, right? It's getting on my back. Except, she's just like the most noisy way to do it.
Yeah. Which I thought was hilarious. It's like, maybe now because she has free will and she's impulsive, she doesn't think things through like she would when she was under the control. So it makes sense for her to.
Exactly. I was like, it was kind of for a laugh, but then it had consequences, which then kind of makes sense when you look at it. The facility near the mountains probably would have a protocol in case there is an avalanche anyways.
Yeah.
Like everyone's trying to get indoors.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Yeah.
I just thought about that bit. I was like, if they do get indoors, they're screwed anyway because no one can get in there to rescue them, really. So they're gonna.
There's probably some emergency whatever, not a hatch. I was gonna say, but like button they press to let people know they've been snowed in.
Yeah,
because you don't build a facility out there without then protocol.
Thinking these things through.
Or as the movie happens, it's like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's like, they're criminals anyway. But what about the guards? They knew what they signed up for. Yeah.
What guards? What are you talking about?
There was no guards. Cover up. Yeah. That was a fun scene. That was fun.
And as you said from Red Guardian, when he got fat and he couldn't fit in his costume.
Yeah.
But then Rachel Weisz is still like,
sexy hair. Yeah. Oh man.
I like how the relationships were. Like you said, they weren't a real family.
Yeah.
But when they went undercover in 1995, where the movie starts, to the US, and they'd been there for about 3 years, they kind of were enough of a family that however many years later, 20 years later, when this story happens,
effect on them,
yeah, exactly. And I did like so when it started playing flashback 1995, and they had young Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, I was like, okay, first of all, you don't know who these children are, but when I saw that girl, I was like, oh, I think that's meant to be the young version of Natasha Romanoff.
Yeah.
Only because I don't want to say the facial structure is the same, but where her like nose and mouth and like eyes kind of line up to where Scarlett Johansson's face kind of is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they cast someone pretty not close to the facial features, but just like okay.
Yeah, someone like say you think
that
she could have looked like that as a child.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that girl did pretty good as well, because when she was protecting Yelena, after they take the data and gone back to Russia, or wherever they were, Cuba.
Cuba. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she was threatening to kill everyone.
I'll kill you all.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you know what? I kind of believe that girl would.
Yeah.
Not kill them all, but like legit try to.
Proper fight. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So well cast that little girl.
Yeah, man.
That's you know who the little girl is?
No.
You know Paula W.S. Anderson.
Oh, that's Joker Fix's daughter.
Yeah. Then.
Oh, so she's in the MCU now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Alice was a super soldier after all. It makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. So that's who that is.
Oh yeah, now you say that. Yeah, I remember seeing the face like in the Resident Evil movies when she's Red Alice, whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, was it her? Did she play?
She's in one of them, and she plays one of them. Yeah.
Oh,
Might be one of the later ones.
All right. Yeah.
Welcome to die here.
And the post-credit tease where basically Yelena is at the grave of Black Widow, which is strange because well, let me explain the scene first, and then we'll talk specifics. But she had the grave of Black Widow. Val, Allegra, Fantine, Contessa, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is also there, and she says, "Oh yeah. Next target Ziski's are right here, and it's
Yeah.
the man responsible for Romanov's death, and it's a picture of
Clint
Hawkeye."
Botton
Yeah,
as Ronan. Yeah.
yeah. Now, is there a body there in that grave? It can't be, right?
I,
Because she didn't die on Earth.
no, unless they
Yeah.
brought her body back, but why would they? How
Right.
could they?
And then, how do people outside the Avengers know that Black Widow's died?
They probably told the public, innit? I guess. Because they told about what's his face dying.
Tony Stark. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I suppose you have a little. Yeah, okay. And Captain America's disappeared, so they probably had a little
Yeah.
plaque or whatever to say just the brave sacrifices of whoever. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
because she's an Avenger, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they'll tell the public that she died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you reckon? So do you think this storyline will get resolved in the Hawkeye series, or do you think they're going to wait for the next, see how this is received, and then maybe have Hawkeye in the next Black Widow movie?
I think, and this is just me thinking,
Yeah.
that it won't get resolved in the Hawkeye TV series, but it'll be hinted to.
Okay.
Like she'll
So you might
appear in it
have
or something like that.
maybe out of nowhere you have a scrap with Florence Pugh and what's her name, the girl who's playing the Hayley
Haley
uh,
Steinsford.
yeah,
Yeah.
playing Kate Bishop. Do you reckon there'll be a scrap there for something like girl? Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't girl or girl action, but I didn't mean. I mean like
Cause I think it won't be that. It won't. She'll appear like in the last episode or something like that.
Oh
Or-
yeah, in credits.
Or even like the end credits hints of it. Yeah, like
Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah, because I don't think she's gonna be in a show at all.
Yeah.
Or there'll be
Okay.
like little bits where she's watching or something like that, like Hawkeye gathering information on him, and then
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if throughout the series, like we're speculating,
yeah,
you just randomly have shots of someone watching
yeah,
from unknown location or whatever, and then you're like, okay, it could be within the series you might think, oh, this character, that character, but then at the end, it's Yelena from Black Widow.
yeah,
I was spying them all along, waiting for her chance to whatever, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that'd work because it's a tease and not too much of a will give away anything that's going on,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, okay. Basically, look, Marvel cracked the formula for how they do these movies, right?
Yeah,
So, and this is I don't want to say a standard Marvel movie, but it's a good movie.
yeah.
It's a good
very
action movie.
Yeah,
And if you take into account, it's just they know how to structure their movies. It's a good movie overall. Like
Yeah.
good action, good, enough breaks for character development. Big set pieces towards the end,
yeah.
And even though we were saying about Taskmaster, it doesn't get much to do, but it's actually quite a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
Because it's mind control beyond her what she wants to do herself, but caught in a situation where it's like, look, man, your body's just kind of destroyed.
yeah,
I don't even know how much of a cybernetic, how much of a human, but Olga Kurylenko, when you see her face when she's taking off her mask, she does good enough acting with just her facial emotions. You're like, yeah, it's something bad behind this,
Yeah.
something sad.
You just feel for it, like, oh man, bless her.
Yeah,
And-
I do have to say, because they never showed Ray Winston's character being in the same building,
No.
not the same floor, when that blew up.
Yeah,
And they just could be like, oh, that dude's still alive, right? Fair enough, I kind of accept it. He might not just been in that location. Whatever.
yeah. He could have been on, or the floor he was on was like,
Yeah.
protected somehow. You know what I mean? Like something.
I mean, he got a couple of scars or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, man.
yeah,
It was a solid film. I like the bit when also going back a tiny bit about this when after the whole the fortress in the sky got blown up and all that, and then when Natasha finally quote unquote beats Taskmaster, and then she's like, "I'm sorry," and then
Yeah.
you can see her like saying, "Yeah."
So when Carl says beat, what he means is Black Widow had a little scrap, and then Black Widow obviously knew to get the
Pheromone
speed
thingy.
spray or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They just needed to get her close enough to to set the spray off. So it's like, yeah, okay. She didn't need to fire to the end, and I wouldn't say, oh, Black Widow won in a cheap fashion, because she didn't. Her aim was to clarify the mind of the Taskmaster. So yeah, and say she's sorry. So yeah,
Yeah, and it's like, oh, good closer, because like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't sympathize with her dad because he's made her into like a living weapon. So you can
yeah,
kind of see she's happy.
against her will as well. So
Yeah.
yeah. I will say as well, I don't think we mentioned it, but the posing.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So Yelena keeps the saying, but it's like always a punchline joke. So like, why do you always do these things? Like, pose for the camera. There's no one to watch. Why you do 3-point poses, these lunge legs, stuff like that. It just yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like, it's
but
stupid.
that's what made me pay attention to the fight scenes, because none of the fight scenes had any of that. They kind of just went at it.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? None. It's not. More. It's not being theatrical anymore about the fights. It's just yeah.
it's just, yeah. It kind of reminded me. A lot of the fight scenes kind of reminded me of Winter Soldier, because that was sort of like that as well, wasn't it? It was just
Yeah.
gritty fighting scenes rather than superhero pose and that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, great film. Highly recommend this, man. Really recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to. Okay. Did you see any trailers beforehand?
Nah, I don't watch trailers, man. They ruin things.
Because there was the trailer for Shang-Chi beforehand.
Oh, is it?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch. I don't like you say. I don't really watch the trailers myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, from my I was listening to, because obviously, yeah, you can't exactly cover your ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like it's going to be pretty good as well. I wonder how I wonder how the martial arts work in that, because it's going to be way different from this.
Yeah, it has to be.
Um,
As that's his thing.
yeah, exactly.
In it.
I wonder how, like, basically the best martial artist in the world will be fighting superhumans, and I wonder how, if he does, right?
Yeah.
How he'll fight people with different abilities, considering he's only got the biological abilities that a normal man would have.
Yeah.
And surely, like, when you're fighting, as Dominic Toretto says, in a street fight, the street always wins.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be fighting like tournament rules or anything like that. Just go for the eyes, break a leg, whatever. Yeah, okay. That's what you would do in a fight, so it makes sense.
Yeah. When is
Yeah,
Shang-Chi is coming out this year, isn't it?
yeah. Where it takes place in the Marvel timeline, though, is a different matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they showed I think there's some bits that are flashbacks, so way back when. Some bits
Okay.
before Iron Man 1 to set
Yeah.
up the Red Ring, not the Red Rings,
Ten
the
Ring.
Ten Rings.
Yeah.
And maybe he gets split, maybe Shang-Chi gets split, maybe not. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm looking
But
forward to it.
for sidetracking, over for this film, really good, really good. I will also, it was also, I noticed that the makeup on Scarlett Johansson was less applied, is the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
Pretty her up or anything like that. They were like, she's on the run. She looks a bit haggard. Yeah.
Yeah.
The situation she's in, why would, no, okay, fair enough. She might need her looks to get somewhere without having to use violence or whatever, right? But right now, she's on the run.
Yeah, she hasn't got time to be looking pretty.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, you would highly recommend this to people?
Yep, definitely.
So would I. It's...
Obviously, if the people that, oh look, I don't want to say the people that don't like superhero films, but it's an action film at the end of the day. Yeah, if you like action films, you're gonna like this action drama, even.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun.
It's
It's got a
fun.
sense of humor about itself as well.
Yeah.
The characters have a sense of humor. They develop them, and some of them are sympathetic, like we were saying about Taskmaster, without even having to do much
Yeah.
verbally.
And
Yeah.
the whole family dynamic was pretty cool as well. Like you said before, like the drama sort of was pretty, and it was entertaining and kept the film going as well.
Yeah. You know what? I think it moved at a pretty decent pace. I never thought, oh, okay, this movie seems a bit long or anything like that. It actually was just over 2 hours, it seems.
Yeah.
Include with credits, right?
Yeah. About that.
It never felt long. It kept on moving.
No, there was no like lull periods of like, can we just get to this? Yeah, never felt any of that.
That's why, because I think they've written the characters engaging enough that you're like, what's going to happen with the people that I don't know?
Yeah.
So good on them.
Good on them.
Setting enough stakes and suspense, considering we know what happens to the main character.
Yeah, because you could, if you was ignorant, you could write this off like, why am I going to see this? Because I already know what happens to her because she dies. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay, but this film sort of sets up the character you see in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
How she's sort of a humanized person now, rather than a killer machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all that stuff they were saying about how in Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
the Red Room stuff with cutting out,
sterilizing them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then when Red Guardian makes a joke about like, because they're angry at him,
Yeah.
right? But for legitimate reasons, like, they feel that he deserted them and left them for 20 years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The family is fake and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he busts out with the stereotypical, you're on your period, and then they just go on about how they can't have a period because of what the Red Room does to him. You know what? What they cut to you and he's like,
no, don't need to hear this. No.
Yeah. But it's like, they used the joke, but to get another point across.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay.
That's another thing. What I thought was quite cool. Sorry, it's been right.
Yeah.
Wrapping this up, but because you know how I haven't forgotten her name. The sister.
Which one?
Yara? The White Widow. Her little sister. Black Widow's little sister, wasn't
Yelena.
Lyanna, sorry. How when she's like, yeah, those 3 years were important to me. Like, that's all I ever think about. I thought about that if that was real, I would be still living in Ohio and you would have moved on to become a teacher in blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's pretty nice that that was basically kept her going all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it's like training Black Widows from when they're 6 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even in the flashback, you might have not thought that Natasha, the younger Natasha Romanoff was already trained to be Black Widow.
Yeah.
I thought you think, this is the point where they take her into the program. No, she looks like she's 11 years old.
Yeah.
And she's willing. She's saying, "I'll kill all you guys" and stuff like that. She must be trained already. I'm like, damn,
And even
but she did say in Avengers when that little girl was running away and she's talking to Bruce Banner, I got trained about that age.
Yeah.
Like, oof.
And then there's like how bad the Red Room thing is, because when you find out about they'll take like 20 girls and one will come out the class and they'll kill the rest.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's
yeah, that's harsh stuff.
Yeah.
What's good as well, like we were saying about the Red Room, is now they're gonna wipe out the undercover. Oh no, mind wipe. Oh, okay, mind alter.
Yeah.
All the Black Widows that are undercover and are currently in the field.
Yeah.
And it's like, sequel bait, but not sequel bait, because you know what the next set of story is if they do one.
If they go along,
Yeah, but the adventure can still happen.
It can even happen in someone else's film, in all fairness.
Exactly.
Doesn't need to be a sequel, Okay.
Yeah. I say so. Definitely, like, not even if you're a Marvel fan, but it's a good action film. So watch that. If you like,
Yeah. And if I had a daughter, I'll let her have Black Widow as a role model because she's pretty cool and she's not super sexualized.
And I'd also teach my daughter to bomb other children's, put bomb in other children's bag.
Yeah, of course. If they do you wrong, no, I'm joking.
Or if you need to kill, if you need to kill someone's dad, you tell your daughter to put a bomb in someone else's daughter's bag.
Yeah, or their child. That's how you get to them. That's how you get to parents through their kids.
No, but I'm glad as well. They showed the consequences of what she used to do. Affected her.
Yeah, to this day. Yeah,
exactly. So not saying. I mean, look, she's a good spy. She's good at going undercover, so she knew how to compartmentalize.
Yeah.
that section. And I actually did think it's kind of neat how every other story she's in, she knows what's going on,
Yeah.
right? Like, she'll be on a mission and have a side mission, like we know from Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she didn't know what was going on, which is good. It's like a reversal of her usual role.
Yeah. And I like as well when when you find out about her and her mum made that plan to get into Dracoff and all that. I like that's a cool thing because again, she's always sort of 2 steps ahead with the Black Widow character. So that's another like okay, they continue this on. Like,
Randomly. So Scarlett Johansson's 36 years old and Florence Pugh
25.
is 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 11-year age difference, right? But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when they were playing the younger version, it seemed like only a 6 year age difference or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But you never thought, okay, these are characters that's disproportionate to their actual ages. They seem to work in the roles they were given,
Yeah.
and the age difference didn't even make all the actual supposed age difference compared to the actual age difference didn't really matter.
Yeah, it's not questionable like in Hobbs and Shaw, where Deacon Shaw's sister's meant to be his younger sister, but real life she's like 20 years younger than him. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And noticeable. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hilarious. So yeah, I guess this is where we wrap up the episode, right?
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah, and looking forward to the next one. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Loki, Shang-Chi, Hawkeye, all them other ones.
Yeah.
Let's see we go on from there. And Spider-Man.
That's out this year as well, isn't it? Yeah.
So quite
Which
a bit
is
to.
pretty strange for Spider-Man. It's coming out, I think, in the
December?
later part of 2021, but they haven't dropped a trailer yet. Normally, there's trailers galore for these things, like a year before it ran out. But hey.
Yeah, I think, but maybe though, they've got enough publicity as it is
Yeah.
that they don't really. Look, it's a Marvel film, right?
Yeah.
You can probably relax on the marketing a little bit because people are gonna watch it just for the name back.
At this point, Marvel don't really need to do marketing.
Yeah.
Spend.
I mean, like if they're busting it out with things like Guardians of the Galaxy, no one's ever heard of, right?
Yeah.
And Shang-Chi and stuff like that. You're like, yep.
Yeah.
And people come sit down and watch it anyways.
Yeah. Because isn't Eternals meant to come out this year as well?
Yeah.
Year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who knows about Eternals, you know?
Yeah. Again, nothing's come out.
Yeah. I think it might be like, okay, when do we time our releases for the best optimal box office? But that's a different matter.
Yeah. At this point, if Marvel wanted to, they could say tomorrow, hey, on Friday, we're bringing out Eternals. People's going to see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, other studios and franchises sort of got to prepare people. But Marvel at this point, nah.
We could save all our marketing money.
Yeah. And
budget.
Send a poster out saying, hey, this is out on Friday. It's going to sell a billion. You know what I mean? So yeah, let us know what you thought of the Black Widow movie. Was it a good send-off for Scarlett Johansson after 12 years in the role? Is it 12 years? Yeah, 12 years.
11.
It's 11.
Yeah, 2010 Iron Man.
Yeah, so 11 years, yeah. Yeah, so do you think she deserved it? I personally think she did, but if you feel different, let me know. Maybe I could change your mind. Maybe you could change mine. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. So you are...
I am... Oh, crap.
All right, okay. I'm the leader of the Red Room, the Cockney Man, the Russian accent, CY Chung.
And I am Black Widow's only sort of friend who isn't an Avenger, but I buy her. She buys stuff for me, so technically she's just a client. Charles.
All right. Yeah.
He's English, that guy, isn't it? He's in.
Yeah. You know what? I thought for a minute I've seen him in other things.
Yeah.
But when I look at IMDb, like I must have seen him in other English programs, but never noticed him but it was like He seems familiar, but I can't place him.
Because the only thing I know him from, he's in The Handmaid's Tale,
Right.
a super depressing show. That's the only thing I remember him from. But he's been in some other English things that I think my mum's watched and I've walked past and seen him in. But
Yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff. It's just I can't place him for some reason.
Yeah. I don't
Cool.
remember.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, next time. When we get back to talking. Because the last episode uploaded was the non-Marvel DC films. So the third part will be coming out on Thursday. Yay.
See you guys there.
See you guys then. Alright, bye.